Hey guys fam, welcome back. It's your girl, certified baddie, part-time lover, full-time survivor. If you're new, hit like, drop a comment and subscribe. Trust me, this one is T-strong.
Part 1 ended with a mystery picture. No name, no number. Just me and Ronnie. Clean, anonymous, main house vibes all over it. Surveillance mode? Full. And me? Acting soft, smiling like nothing's wrong while inside I'm boiling like sadza left on the fire. That morning, I didn't tell Ronnie. We ate like normal, laughed over brunch, even stopped for gelato. Yes, gelato in Harare. Don't act surprised. I kept my face, played the perfect side chick, kisses, cuddles, the whole soft life routine. When he dropped me at my flat in Avondale, he held me long like he didn't want to let go. Whispered the things that make you melt. I kissed him deep, heart doing cartwheels, wanting the moment to stretch forever. Then I walked in and the house hit me. Curry, onions, home. Noma and Rotendo in the kitchen, chopping, laughing. Their laugh is the kind that straightens you out, like Sunday vibes with old school jams on the radio. Seeing them cooled me down, made the panic doable. Rotendo turned first. You back. How was it? I kicked off my sandals, leaned on the counter, let the weekend settle. Better than good, I said, playing it up. Yo, weekend was a movie. I'm falling, guys, real talk. Noma raised an eyebrow, slicing a tomato like it owed her money. Falling? Spill. From start to finish, don't miss the saucy bits. So I laughed and poured it out. Room service, fire pit, mountain view, soft Afro beats, Rolex flashing, his hands like they belonged. How he said he'd marry me, how the sex felt like the universe paused, how I didn't want to go back to the real world. Then I stopped. A heavy sigh came out of me. This morning, someone sent me a picture. Anonymous. Me and Ronnie at the lodge. Rotendo's face changed. Main house? Natasha? I nodded. Main house is watching. Vulnerable is the word. But with Noma and Rotendo, it felt safe to show it. Rotendo asked quiet. What did Ronnie say? I didn't tell him. Didn't want to ruin the vibe. I whispered. Silence fell. Even the tomatoes seemed to stop popping under the knife. Noma put the knife down slow and gave me that look. The one only a best friend who's seen you black out at a party can give. So you just smiling around while main house builds a case? She said, hands on hips like I was a child. Rotendo folded her arms, forehead creased. This ain't a random ex. This is the wife. If she's watching, she's not making tea. She's making moves. They were right. I felt the floor tilt. I poured water, but it came out warm. I know I should have told him. But everything was perfect. He was present, real. You know how rare that is here. Men ghost, show up with cologne and manners, but this weekend, he was actually there. Noma scoffed. Being real doesn't save you. Real can get you exposed, dragged, or worse, trending all over socials. Flashback time. Rewind the weekend. Mazvika Day. Soft Life edition. Room service, fire pit, mountain view, Ronnie's playlist setting the mood. He called me his piece, held my hand like it was holy. Said his uncles could approach mine. Second wife, he said, but wife still. My heart did that stupid, happy, confused jump. Back in the Avondale kitchen, the fantasy was cracking. Rotendo went tactical, voice steady. Okay. You didn't tell him. Fine. But now we act. If Natasha sent that pic, this is a move, not a warning. You need to know how deep this goes. Pics only? Or cameras? Is she monitoring the lodge? The flowers? The sax player? I blinked, remembering the bouquet with dollar notes, the sax man on the patio. Did she know it all? I'm not ready to lose him, I said, soft. Rotendo squeezed my hand. We know that. But heart without head is how girls end up on celeb blogs. You got heart, now use your head. So that's where I'm at. Stuck between a man who makes me feel seen and a woman I don't know who's moving like chess. Main house made the first move. Now it's my turn. Meanwhile in Borrowdale. Natasha stood in the kitchen, quiet but loaded. Sadza steaming, oxtail thick in gravy, mubura rich with peanut butter, the wine breathing on the counter. But her? She wasn't breathing. She was boiling. She'd done her hair, slipped into that soft silk blouse, jasmine perfume trailing like money. From outside, she looked like the dream wife. But inside, she was done. Done chasing a grown man like he was someone's lost son. Done hearing whispers about his side projects in wigs and cheap perfume. Ronnie walked in just after 7. Same cologne she bought him last year. The one that used to make her knees weak. He kissed her cheek like he hadn't just come back from rolling around with Tendai. Natasha smiled, poured his plate, watched him eat, let him enjoy the Last Supper. When the dishes were cleared and the kitchen went still, she finally turned. Her voice was soft, but dangerous. Why her? Ronnie stiffened, pretended he didn't hear. She didn't move. Ronald, why Tendai? That name landed like a slap. He blinked, throat tight. He thought of lying, twisting, gaslighting. But Natasha's eyes had already cut through him. She knew. Not just about the girl, about the lodge, the receipts, the whole circus. Tasha, he began, leaning on the counter like it could hold his sins. Things haven't been right between us. Even before her. The fertility, the distance. You talk to me like I'm your project, not your partner. I feel managed, controlled, like I'm never enough. He exhaled. Tendai was a fling. But she gave me peace. She listens. She sees me. His voice dropped. She doesn't want my money. She just gets me. That was it. The matchstick. Natasha's laugh cracked through the room, low, sharp, disrespectful. Peace? Peace is what you're calling it? Ronald, you think peace comes in a 23-year-old body with a lace wig from Joiner City and a giggle rehearsed in the mirror? She stepped closer, fire in her eyes. I was there when Zimtech was just your little scribbles on a serviette. When you couldn't buy data bundles, I was hotspotting you from my Econet. You were nobody, and I stood beside you. I didn't just support you. I built with you, block by block, dollar by dollar. Her voice cracked with fury. I'm not your PA, I'm your wife. 9 years, Ronald, 9. And now you throw me away for a girl who still house share with a bunch of silly wannabe girls from avenues? Ronnie flinched. She sees you? Then let her. Let her see the man who runs when life gets hard, the coward who hides in lodges and calls it love. I'm not running, he muttered. I'm choosing peace over pride. Natasha tilted her head, lips curling in contempt. Peace? Ronald, that girl isn't your peace. She's your scandal. And scandals don't end quietly. Scandals end careers. They end empires. I just wanted to be heard. He tried again, softer now. Her bracelet clinked as she folded her arms tighter. Oh, so Tendai is your therapist now? You pay her in dinners and fake promises instead of medical aid. Ronnie shook his head, but the fight was gone. You're not hearing me, he whispered. Then he walked out, straight to his office, slammed the door, locked it. Natasha stood in the kitchen, chest heaving, heart stone. She poured the wine but didn't drink it. The silence around her was sharp, like glass. No tears, no begging, no scenes. Her rage was too refined for that. Her rage had a name. Tendai. That little girl thought she had won. Thought she was special because she spread her legs for a man with a Prado and midlife crisis. Number. Natasha wasn't going to fight in public. She wasn't going to scream in restaurants or tear wigs in car parks. Number. She was going to fight smart, quiet, surgical, with class. She opened her laptop, nails clicking on the keys like gunshots. If Tendai thought she would walk across the stage in a graduation gown, she was mistaken. Main house was moving. It had been days since I heard from Ronnie. No call, no text, no babe, I've just been busy. Just silence. Full-on deluxe ghosting. At first, I gaslit myself. Maybe he's traveling. Maybe his battery died. Maybe he's stuck in some boardroom with old white men saying Zimbabwe has potential while sipping cappuccino. But deep down, I knew the truth. This was the same Ronnie who used to send me "Good morning, beautiful" before the sun even touched the curtains. The same Ronnie who once sent me $100 just because I complained my Wi-Fi was slow. Now, I'm sending paragraphs, and all I get are blue ticks, clean, silent, cold. I even posted a cute story. Soft makeup, gold hoops, latte in hand, living my Vogue fantasy. Caption: Saturdays are for softness. Location tagged, Café Noosh, Avondale. Nothing. He ghosted me like Baba Munini after borrowing money. Quiet, disrespectful, untouchable. I called. Straight to voicemail. I texted. Tick, tick, blue. Silence. At night, I stared at my phone like some digital widow, wondering if I should double text or just delete his number. So, I did both, repeatedly. And that tiny, nasty voice in my head, whispering, "What if you were just another one?" A gap filler, a side dish while his main course was busy doing wifey duties in Borrowdale. Guilt crept in slow like a combi conductor hunting for change. Small, annoying, impossible to ignore. Was this punishment? The photo? Fear of Natasha? Or had I just been played like a beginner on Mazau slots? I tried to keep it cute, keep it chill. But Noma? She saw straight through me. I was slumped on the couch, scrolling aimlessly, when Noma slid in beside me like she owned the place. "Yo, Tendi, what's up with you?" "You've been staring at that phone like it owes you rent," she said, flicking my arm lightly. I huffed. "Nothing. Just, you know, life." She laughed, full-bodied, loud. "Life?" "Life didn't ghost you, Baba. Ronnie did. And he didn't even leave a post-it note." I groaned. I know, but it's him, Noma. He's usually on top of everything. Now, nothing, nada, zilch, blue ticks only, and my brain is out here running scenarios faster than combi drivers on Samora. She shook her head. "Girl, stop overthinking. Men do that. Especially men with money, cars, and big egos. You know how they operate. Today they're sweet. Tomorrow they vanish like Zisa lights in the avenues." I flopped further into the cushions. I don't get it. Did I do something wrong? Or is this some Natasha vibe creeping in? Noma leaned closer, voice dropping like she was about to spill top-secret tea. "Look, listen. You need to treat this like a mission, not a heartbreak. We're not crying over boys. We're strategizing. Ronnie's behavior? Classic main house paranoia. Probably scared she sniffed something." I sat up a little, eyebrows raised. "So, what, I ghost him back? Or call him like nothing happened?" She laughed. "No, babe. You don't chase, you observe. You collect receipts, emotional, digital, whatever. Screenshots of his silence, his blue ticks, his missing calls. And yes, post cute content, but subtly. Make him wonder, make him itch. Play the soft life without looking desperate." I tilted my head. "Subtle. Right." I sighed. "Easy for you to say. You're always the brain. I'm the heart."
she smirked. Exactly. Which is why you need me. We'll map this out. Main house thinks she's moving first? Let her. We're going to play smarter. Keep your cool, keep your friends close, and keep him guessing. He can't resist chaos packaged in calm.
I smiled faintly, sipping my cold mazao. Chaos in calm, that's me. Noma raised her bottle like a toast. Exactly, my sister. Now step 1, stay off that phone. Step 2, live your life loud, soft, and untouchable. Step 3, watch main house sweat. And just like that, I felt a spark. Not of hope, not exactly. More like fire. Because in this game, Tendi doesn't lose. Not if she's playing smart. Weeks went by. Ronnie, still nothing. No calls, no texts, just ghost. And me? I started noticing other signs. Tired mornings, mood swings. But then, the one thing I'd been dreading. My period didn't come. I froze, just stared at the calendar on my phone. Heart hammering, panic, hope, fear, all mashed into one. By the weekend, I couldn't wait any longer. I grabbed Noma in the living room. I think I need a test. Noma didn't hesitate. Let's handle this like grown-ups. She went to our shared flat's mini superstash and pulled out a pregnancy test. Rutendo came in from the kitchen, drying a pan, eyebrows raised. What's up? Test. Now, Noma said firmly. We do this together. I paced the lounge. Flat too small, air too heavy. Every sound from the street made me jump. Rutendo grabbed my hand. Breathe, Tendi. We're here, together, calm. I laughed nervously. Breathe? Like my life isn't about to explode? Noma rolled her eyes but stayed close. Then let's flip it properly. Test first. I went to our tiny bathroom. Noma followed, standing just outside the door. Rutendo leaned against the wall, silent, steady. The stick. The waiting. Heart in my throat. And then, positive. I stared. Couldn't move, couldn't think, couldn't cry. The stick in my hand was heavier than anything I'd ever held. My voice broke. I'm pregnant. Noma didn't gasp. She pulled me into a tight hug. It's okay. You're okay. We'll figure this out. Together. Rutendo crouched beside me, voice calm but firm. Tendi, we'll plan. You're not alone. Not now. Not ever. I sank to the floor, head in my hands, tears spilling. Street life, soft life, side chick life. None of that mattered anymore. This was real, raw, my body, my future, my everything. And in that tiny flat, with Noma and Rutendo surrounding me, I finally felt the weight of being utterly, terrifyingly human. I was still sitting on the lounge floor, shaking, when Noma grabbed the mazao from the fridge and handed it to me. Drink. Hydrate. Don't pass out before we even start planning, Tendi. Rutendo crouched beside me, calm as ever. Okay, first things first. You're positive. That's fact. Ronnie? Ghosted. That's fact. Natasha? Probably sniffing around. Also fact. So what do we do with facts? I wiped my tears, voice raw. I don't know. I can't even think straight. What if he doesn't want this? What if Natasha finds out first? What if... My words trailed off into panic. Noma put her hand on my shoulder. Firm. Then we think like winners, not victims. Step 1, you don't panic. Step 2, you don't post anything online. Not now. Step 3, we gather our evidence. Screenshots of his ghosting, any receipts, texts, anything that proves he's been MIA. You want leverage? You're gonna need it. Rutendo nodded. Step 4, you tell him when we're ready. Not before. And we control the narrative. We're not crying on his lap. We're not begging. We're delivering the news like it's a statement. I swallowed hard, my stomach twisting. And Natasha? She'll flip. She'll ruin me before I even tell Ronnie. She'll try, Noma said, voice low. But that's why we're in this together. She can't touch you if we're smart. Quiet moves, Tendi. Surgical. Like we taught you. Rutendo reached over, squeezing my hand. Look, Tendi. This isn't just about Ronnie. This is about you, your body, your choice, your life, and we protect that. Always. No matter what. I took a deep breath, letting it out slowly. Okay. So first, I survived today. Then we plan. Together. Noma smirked. Exactly. And step 5? Step 5? I asked weakly. Step 5, she said, mock serious, is letting the man sweat. Let him ghost. Let him squirm. Let him realize he can't control your life, Tendi. Not now. Not ever. I laughed softly through tears. It felt good, dangerous, like power coming back into my hands. And as we sat there in our little flat with the smell of curry lingering, I realized something. The three of us, messy, chaotic, human, were unbreakable together. Ronnie might have ghosted. Natasha might be plotting. The world might be ready to judge. But here, with Noma and Rutendo, I had a plan, a voice, and for the first time in weeks, a little spark of hope. We were ready. I stared at the pregnancy test on the counter, heart hammering. My thumb hovered over Ronnie's chat. One message, one picture, one question. Click. A snapshot of the stick. Positive. Caption. What do you want me to do about this? Sent immediately. I felt my chest tighten. The phone buzzed. Ronnie had seen it. Read maybe panicked, maybe angry, maybe something. I didn't wait for a reply. Ghost mode activated. Blue ticks only. Silence. Full lockdown. Minutes later, the phone rang, his name flashing. My heart skipped, my fingers hovered, then dropped. Not today, Baba. Not today. I turned to Noma and Rutendo, my heart still racing. He's gonna call. Like 1,000,000 times. Noma grabbed my arm. Let him call. You're not picking up. Not until you're ready. And honestly, Tendi, you don't owe him a thing right now. Rutendo nodded. We move smart. Not fast. You need space to think and protect yourself. Ghost mode is your friend. I sank back on the couch, trying to steady my breathing. Then I made the decision. I'm going to temporarily move back to my parents' place in Hatfield. Get some distance. Clear my head. Figure out next moves. Noma raised an eyebrow. Hatfield? Seriously? Are we talking plan safe or get caught? Plan safe, I said firmly. Ronnie cannot know where I am. Natasha cannot find me, and I refuse to be tracked. Rutendo leaned in, voice serious. We'll make sure of that. No check-ins, no social media posts that can be traced, no nothing. Main house doesn't need to know you exist right now. And Ronnie? Well, let him stew. Noma smirked. Good. Let him stew. He's the one who ghosted, remember? Karma tastes better with a little salt. I took a deep breath, finally feeling some of the tension lift. This was the first move that truly felt like me taking control. Vulnerable, yes. Scared, yes. But for the first time in weeks, I felt the power shift. We packed a few things, essentials, clothes, my laptop, the little things that felt like home. I gave my friends strict instructions. No one tells Ronnie where I am. Not a word. Not a whisper. As we left the flat, I felt the cool Harare wind hit my face. For once, it didn't feel like it was chasing me. It felt like freedom. And deep down, I knew this was only the beginning. Even with Ronnie spending most evenings and weekends at home, things between him and Natasha were off. The laughter felt forced, the small talks hollow, the silence loud. One evening he decided to drive Tasha's car to the food market. Some excuse about errands, some excuse about bonding. The driveway was quiet, the scent of jasmine lingering from the house. The engine purred, but something inside him felt restless. He opened the glove compartment. Routine, keys, car manual, and then a small black purse, neatly placed. Carefully, not thrown, placed. Curiosity piqued, he lifted it. Inside, a strip of contraceptive pills. And not old ones. The date was recent. Very recent. Time stopped. His hands trembled slightly, gripping the steering wheel. Overdrive mode activated. Heart hammering, mind racing. Was this why our marriage never gave us a child? Questions hit him like a punch. Had she been secretly controlling our fertility? Had she deliberately blocked the possibility all these years? Was this her way of keeping control? The engine hummed beneath him. The streetlights flickered over the dashboard. He didn't move, didn't breathe properly. Everything he thought he knew about Natasha, her loyalty, her patience, her carefully constructed good wife persona, felt suddenly tactical. A cold anger mixed with awe ran through him. Natasha had been hiding this, orchestrating every moment, and now he realized he had been blind to her moves, blind to her power. This wasn't just a revelation, it was a warning. Ronnie leaned back in the seat, gripping the black purse in one hand, staring at the pills as if they held the answers to a lifetime of lies. Silence. The market, the errands, the evening. None of it mattered anymore. Because the woman he thought he knew, she had been playing her own game all along. And now, Ronnie was just catching up. Ronnie didn't speak when he got home. The black purse burned in his pocket, his mind spinning faster than the Prado's wheels on Borrowdale roads. Natasha was in the kitchen, humming softly, chopping mubura like nothing was wrong. The evening sun spilled over the counters, gold and calm, the picture of the good wife. He cleared his throat. She didn't look up. "Dinner will be ready soon," she said casually. Ronnie swallowed. "Tasha, can we talk?" Finally, she turned, knife in hand, eyes sharp, unreadable. About what? He hesitated. Should he start with anger? Accusation? Or the truth that had him shaking? About this. He held up the black purse, the strip of pills visible. Natasha didn't flinch, didn't blink. She put the knife down slowly, folding her arms. "So?" Ronnie's voice caught. "These recent pills were you controlling our fertility?" She finished for him, voice calm, almost bored. "Yes, for years, because Ronald, I was tired. Tired of waiting, tired of disappointment, tired of watching you drift towards side girls while pretending everything was fine at home." The words landed like stones. He felt the walls of the kitchen closing in. Do you know what this means?" he whispered, voice raw. "All these years. Was it me? Was it us?" She stepped closer, calm, measured. "It means I protected my life, my choices, my future. And yes, maybe it also taught you a lesson about who's really in control here." Ronnie's chest heaved. Anger, awe, fear, a cocktail he couldn't swallow. He had spent years thinking he held all the cards. He hadn't even realized the game was hers. Natasha's lips curved slightly, just enough to hint at victory. You want to fight, Ronald? Or do you want to finally see the woman you married?
He didn't answer. Not yet. The silence spoke louder than any words. For the first time, he realized that every side glance, every quiet decision, every calm smile, Natasha had been orchestrating it all. And now he was behind, scrambling to catch up. She turned back to the stove, knife slicing, calm as ever. And Ronnie, frozen in the doorway, understood something he couldn't ignore. Main house always wins. Hatfield felt quiet. Too quiet. Safe? Maybe. But my mind was anything but. I sat on the edge of my parents' small bed, fingers tracing the rim of the pregnancy test still in my hand. Noma and Rutendo had gone out to grab groceries, leaving me with my thoughts. And God, they were loud. I kept thinking about Ronnie, his ghosting, his phone calls that I refused, the way he'd freak if he knew I'd moved, Natasha lurking in the shadows, always calculating. And now, this. A life inside me that was growing faster than I could process. I buried my face in my hands. How am I supposed to do this? I whispered to the empty room. University, final year, biomedical science. Every assignment, every lab, every lecture felt miles away. How could I focus when my body was screaming for attention, my heart was broken in 1,000 ways, and my future felt like a cliff I might fall off? Rutendo and Noma came back, groceries in hand. They paused when they saw me, sitting there, overwhelmed. "Tendi," Rutendo said softly, crouching beside me. "You're okay?" I shook my head. I don't know if I am. How am I supposed to finish my degree like this? I can barely think about lectures, and every time I try, all I see is that stick, that positive test, and him, Ronnie, or maybe Natasha. I don't even know if he'll care. Noma sat next to me, arms wrapping around my shoulders. "Hey, listen. First, breathe. Second, we plan. Third, school comes first, always. You're not failing anything unless you let this mess stop you. We'll help. Every lecture you miss, every assignment you can't handle alone, we handle it together. You're not doing this by yourself." I felt tears prick my eyes. But what if I mess everything up? What if I fail? What if he doesn't even care? What if... My voice broke. Rutendo took my hand. "Tendi, life doesn't pause because it's inconvenient. You are still Tendai. Street smart, clever, unbroken. We'll map this out. Pregnancy, Ronnie, Natasha. We handle that. University? That's non-negotiable. Biomedical science isn't going to fail you. Not if we fight with you." Noma squeezed my other shoulder. "Exactly. You've made it this far. Remember that. You can survive this. We'll survive this. Together. And when the time comes, Ronnie and Natasha, we'll deal with them too. But first, you." I nodded, swallowing the lump in my throat. For the first time since Hatfield, since the test, since all the chaos, I felt a little steady, maybe even strong. Because I knew this. Side chicks, side deals, main house chaos. None of that mattered if I didn't survive for myself first. And I would. Somehow. Somehow, I'd survive. Weeks passed in Hatfield. I was slowly finding my rhythm, juggling pregnancy anxiety, final year biomedical science, and staying off Ronnie's radar. Ghost mode was still active. Natasha had no idea, and I liked it that way. One evening, my phone buzzed with a new message. Unknown number. I opened it carefully. Inside, a note from Ronnie. Short, precise, almost formal. "I need to speak to your parents. It's time we discuss Lobola. I want to arrange a date that works for them. Nothing public, private, discreet.
My heart thumped. Shock, confusion, relief. Noma peeked over my shoulder. Is that what I think it is? Yes, I whispered, voice trembling. He's actually taking this seriously. He wants to come to my parents' house to negotiate the bride price. Set a date. Official. Private. Rutendo's eyes widened. Whoa, that's huge. But it also means you're officially in this mess, full responsibility. And now you have to plan everything without Natasha finding out. Dangerous. I sank back on my bed, staring at the message. Part of me felt hope. Part of me panicked. How do I even tell my parents? I muttered. They'll be shocked. And we can't let anyone leak this. Not friends, not neighbors, definitely not Natasha. Noma rubbed my back. We'll handle that. Your parents, discreet talks, calm approach. You keep your focus on school and yourself. Ronnie will do the visiting. You just guide it carefully. You're in control. Rutendo nodded. Exactly. And now we plan. Keep him on schedule. Keep your life intact. Don't let him or anyone else rush you. This is your future. You call the shots. I exhaled slowly, letting the weight sink in. Lobola, my parents, a private negotiation. Ronnie stepping up, quietly, carefully, officially. It was terrifying. It was thrilling. It was real. And for the first time since the pregnancy test, I felt like maybe, just maybe, I could survive this storm and still keep my life, degree, baby, and all, intact. The day of the Rura arrived. Hatfield was buzzing quietly, my parents, close relatives, and a handful of trusted friends. I was nervous, heart racing like a combi speeding down Samora Matchel. Ronnie showed up, clean, confident, and careful not to draw attention. Private, discreet, everything planned like a chess move. No cameras, no gossip, no leaks. Just family, tradition, and the promise of a future I had only dreamed of. My father led the negotiations. Ronnie presented himself respectfully, with the bride price list in hand, and every detail was finalized. Cash, cattle, gifts, all of it. The lobola went smoothly. My parents' smiles were wide, proud. My mother hugged me tightly afterward, whispering, "You've earned this, Mwana Wangu." And just like that, I was officially Ronnie's second wife. Quietly, privately, hidden from Tasha, hidden from the world. Ronnie didn't just stop at Rura. Within weeks he bought me a house, my first real place of my own in Harare, all paid, all mine. No strings, no pretenses, just security and a step into a life I had once only hustled for on the streets. I moved in slowly, unpacking boxes, feeling the weight of every decision I'd ever made. From hustling in avenues, living day to day, surviving on charm and strategy, to finally having a home, a future, and a man willing to make it official. Noma and Rutendo were there, of course, helping me settle in. We laughed, cried, toasted with cheap mazao, and celebrated quietly, because this victory was ours too. And as I stood on the balcony, looking out over Harare, I realized something. I had leveled up. Not just from side chick, not just from hustler, but from girl surviving in the chaos to a woman who had claimed her space. Ronnie's car pulled up in the driveway. He stepped out, smiled at me. There were no grand announcements, no social media posts, no drama. Just him, me, and the life we were quietly building together. And for once, in the raw, messy, beautiful streets of Harare, I felt complete. From hustler to second wife, from chaos to control, from side chick to someone who finally had a home, a man, and a future she could shape herself. The storm of the past, the lies, the betrayals, the secrets, they were behind me now. And that was the end of that chapter. The view from my balcony never got old. Harare sprawled beneath me, noisy, messy, alive. And now, finally, I felt like I belonged somewhere in it. The house was quiet this morning. Ronnie had left for work early and I was sipping tea, fingers tracing the rim of my mug, feeling the gentle curve of my belly beneath the loose dress I wore. Life had shifted, dramatically, chaotically, beautifully. From hustling in Borrowdale, dodging side-eye from strangers, to navigating ghosting, secrets, and betrayal, to this, a home, security, a man who had chosen me, officially quietly, without the world knowing, my second wife, my rules, my life. University had been brutal these past months. Exams, labs, last-minute assignments. Sometimes I thought I wouldn't survive. But I did. Sleepless nights, library sessions with Noma and Rotendo, study notes scribbled in haste between doctor appointments and prenatal vitamins. I pushed through. And finally, I walked across that stage at the University of Zimbabwe, biomedical science degree in hand, a soft smile on my face, my parents beaming in the crowd. I had done it. Against all odds. Ronnie was there too, seated quietly at the back, clapping, a rare, proud look on his face. He hadn't flaunted anything, hadn't called attention, just support, respect. The kind of partnership I had only dreamed of when I was surviving day to day, living on charm, wit, and street smarts. I looked down at my belly, feeling the tiny life moving inside me, and whispered, "We're going to be okay, little one." From side chick to second wife. From chaos to control. From survival to security. From doubt to achievement. And as the sun set over Harare that evening, painting the sky in gold and orange streaks, I realized something. I hadn't just survived. I had claimed my life, my home, my future. The streets of Harare had shaped me, tested me, hardened me. But here, in this house, with this family, chosen and blood, I felt soft. I felt powerful. I felt complete. And this was just the beginning.
Fam, thank you for staying till the end on Mwana wa Mambo Tales.
If you felt the vibe, hit the like button, drop a comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to tap that notification bell so you never miss a new drop.
Stay soft, stay sharp, and keep sipping the tea. See you in the next story.